at least one of them's going to go home with a loss today, Tom.
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be the first real test for ACEND, which is going to be the thing I'm most intrigued by, because they played against Focus, who proved to be a solid team, but are definitely not one of the teams we expect to qualify. And then they beat OG London United, which, well, so did Fnatic, absolutely smashed them. Fnatic, on the other hand, have proven themselves in Week 1 versus FPX, so I think a little bit more to be shown. scond is gone. He's already in.
Oh, my. Well, that's the power of the shorty, I guess, now playing inside the smoke, and he's lurking with a shorty in market. It makes no sense, but it's what you're seeing, and this could be crazy. He's managed to avoid the reveal now, looking to get up close and take them down, but Durka presenting quite a challenge on the other side of the map. Still yet to be rooted out from this side, and he's still got support. Taking down at least the one. That headhunter seeking some more victims, but they're not showing themselves, and now smoked off. He'll step in, but Starzo's waiting.
You've always got to be wary of the Starzo lurk within smokes. A 2 versus 2. Both teams with small amounts of utility to play with. Both Prowlers actually available for Enzo. He might be able to clear some of these closer angles, make things quite a bit more awkward. In fact, he's caught back with it. Left nearsighted, but somehow still surviving. Doesn't go down, and instead he's going to catch Alpha. Yeah. Eventually, it's Starzo to close the round, and ACEND, well, they look like they walked into a trap, but they came out of it with the round.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the A plan, the B plan, the C plan all fell apart, but at the end of the day, all Starzo needed was to start lurking in smokes, taking those duels, brings it across the line beautifully for this team. With a 1-0, Fnatic now pushed down to an eco on defensive side, and we can see that there's a lot of players ready to push out once these barriers go up. 5 mid push, and the headhunter going to be backing up from range. We've already seen Durka take a scalp with it. Here's his chance to get a little bit more. The recon destroyed instantly. And you can see ACEND. They don't want to peek right away, but it looks like they're tempted. They're poking around. They're trying to see how many are here.
It reminded me of like that old school train setup where you would just stand on each other's head as a pyramid. Like that. Just everybody just seeing if they can just set up a firing squad. And, you know, a few stray classic bullets can always help out your team, especially in a round like this where they've literally invested into nothing but the utility, which obviously they can just save over into the next round anyway. I don't mind these sort of rounds. They're also going to throw out a few smokes almost to try and deter ACEND from going in this direction, but they've failed. They're walking straight into the A side. The only person there is going to be Mystic.
Yeah, should be locked out of that completely. You just play the retake here, try to do max damage, contain them. But diving in and rushing in to try and grab kills is an almost certain way to lose any potential damage and leave yourself in a pretty tough spot. They might think there's 2 mid. After revealing that, I mean, they'll know someone could be switched up close to be revealed by that, but they want to pressure scond anyways in a second if it's there. Flank came through, good kill at least. But that was the player who was working with a ghost.
Yeah.
The rest are the Spectres.
This is where they could actually do some real economic damage. However, already Starzo's going to pick off another. Well, that's already more cost than we're expecting to see total. Not going to win the round, of course. The time is far too gone for that. Maybe trying to bait someone into the spike, and Alpha, well, he'd need to hit some pretty crazy shots here. Instead, we'll just run in and make sure that nobody's going to get that extra ultimate orb. Good work from Fnatic. It's still around for ACEND, but only 2 survive.
You know, I think it's interesting because I look at that for a split second and think Alpha Air, you know, it's worth going for that fight and then doubling back into the spike purely because, you know, it's a KO you're up against. But there's 2 things, obviously. Firstly, he doesn't want to get baited if that guy just runs mid and then he can't get to the spike and he just ends up surviving for no reason. And the second thing is like, Alpha Air has 2 orbs. At this stage, it ain't going to help him building up that one coming into buy round, and it might actually help ACEND. So even worthwhile from that perspective. Here's the dash right on in. ACEND are picking up the pace. scond bringing the hurt, but wow, they bring it back.
Yeah, the fact that Durka actually manages to get out of there is quite surprising. Just about quick enough on the TP. Still tagged low, and they've retrieved a couple of rifles. Wouldn't mind seeing one of them go into the hands of Monster, but I guess when it's scond on the other side, you'll accept it. Never mind, they do actually switch up. They're giving that healthier player the opportunity to really do some damage, and it's almost level pegging, which again, considering this is a bonus round, that's a great spot.
Well, the smoke for the back right. Gonna block out a lot of ACEND's fragging potential on range, but, well, they've come up with some solutions to that. 3-0. A flawless run continues. And Fnatic on the defensive side is certainly showing some weaknesses here. That's a costly loss for them, not only unable to punish the weapons, but now having to go to an eco again. These attackers are already building the foundations of a good half.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that winning this game for either side, firstly, I think it stops you from possibly falling into last place, of course. But I think it's like a very, very high percentage that you're going to be locked in for playoffs. I think either side will be within like 98, 97%. So for both teams, this is a huge game to get them, well, within spitting distance of being in that playoff stage. Obviously, in this round, you can't expect a whole lot from Fnatic, but any cost they can cause, any ults they can earn, would be nice. But CNED is just battering them. He wants that Blade Storm online. Oh, you know, he couldn't kill the young Turkish player. He was like, nah, honestly, I can't do it. Someone else will have to take it.
Well, luckily someone did
CNED,
step in
respect.
time. 4-0. This has been a beautiful run for ACEND thus far.
Why are we
We're
watching
showing
this again?
are we? I can't do it.
You are the chosen one.
Well, he did have the high ground. And 4-0, we've gone. Let's see how this fifth is going to go, or if it's going to go. Fnatic on the defense have bought up. Durka with an operator. This makes a big difference. It's towards B main. It's going to be soloing around this area. Trap on mid. This allows them to fully rotate to A if they want, if they get pressure. All they've seen so far, though, they've heard an ult or be taken, and that's about it.
A very slow start to the round for ACEND. Maybe expecting a little bit more aggression here. Durka is going to have the operator in hand, so, well, that's not really something to take lightly. Potentially going to try and sell a bit of a fake with the utility off the back of Zeke if they desire it. Instead, going for a little info. It hasn't moved Durka off the angle, but he doesn't hit the shot any— oh, no, he does, sorry. He hit back down to 2 HP.
How dare you doubt this man? Nade going through. It's not destroyed it.
Oh, no.
Oh, they're in trouble. They've got to get out of the site now. They're trapped in. Alphair's got nothing to do. 2 players detained. It's a disaster. Enzo stepping up to try and save the day. He does a damn good job, but they are hunting these players down. Weapon back up, though. The fight can commence. Alphair still alive, and they've bought enough time. CNED left alone. Too many players to take on, and a nade to finish him off. First round found by Fnatic, and the guardian angel that is Enzo stops them from being punished severely.
They need to give him some sort of medal for that. Like, he needs to be honored by the team. Like, to spam down 2 players through the smoke while your 2 teammates are just— they basically surrendered. They got their hands up going, yep, no, we realize we're on the wrong side of things here, guys. But we're gonna hold back. And then he just saves them out of nowhere. And while that should have been around for ACEND, especially with everything going wrong. Nade not quite doing the damage it needed to, and a blip, but somehow, well, Enzo saves them.
Huge information here. 3 players spotted outside of A right away. Fnatic know that this is the side of the map they're looking to pressure, but they've done this before, right? They've sent players here, they've made noise, and then they've gone back. But this time, it's full commit, and this time, Mystic's there to stop them. A double kill right away. Zeke, though, hasn't gone down fully. They might try the res. At least they're baiting it out. Baiting the sound cues, trying to get some spams that they can return fire upon. But, well, there's just no chance to get this guy back online. Zeke ultimately goes down, and the advantage sits with Fnatic.
Monster's been a little sneaky. Oh, it's an awkward fight. He's hit the dink and manages to win it in the end, but the trade out is instantaneous, leaving these remaining 2 still sat within this smoke. Starzo's teammates have, well, had a taste of their own medicine with how much this guy normally plays within the smokes, but we've seen it many a time from Mystic as well. And now just trying to fall back. 30 seconds left. reposition not going to be as easy as you
30
think, because
seconds
already
left.
a rotation has come through from Dirk. He is well aware that they could be going back in the other direction, and the remaining two are left to try and hold on to this A side.
Found them.
In fact, it almost looks like they're seeking a retake, or at least just a shot on one player.
10
This is a
seconds
very
left.
passive hold. They want to avoid that, though, as they dive onto the site, and, well, that should be the spike denied. There it is. There it is. Oster with a double to close it out. It was definitely shaky at the start, but they got there.
It's just teasing, you know. Always the showman. 4-2. Economy's still not in a bad position at all for ACEND because of how clean some of those earlier rounds were. This is something, I feel like we've seen Mystic do this on almost every agent he plays. Now it makes a little bit more sense because they've given him that more aggressive initiator role, but before he was doing that with Astra. Like, there's still a round that just sticks in my mind of him doing that with a classic, and I wish it didn't stick in my mind because it shouldn't have worked.
Shadows traveling. There.
A very different approach from ACEND this time. Playing out in the default. Aggression coming up through short, seen it. Okay, Zeke still has his knife to work with. CNED wants to push short. I imagine you see that come through for the information to suppress whoever's on the other side.
Blocking sight.
They're not.
Oh.
In fact, it was all just a bait, grabbing that ultimate out. It's on the back of the drone being outside of A, and that's exactly what ACEND wanted, but they still need to deal with Durka. He can't TP now, but that doesn't stop him.
They haven't pressured onto that position. They're waiting for the split to come through into mid. It leaves this deadly duo.
Here.
Raze alongside the chamber to try and hold the line. Durka's still sticking around. He's been able to move for quite a while, but the shot not going to be connecting. Teammates still within, and in fact, they've been hit by Nightfall, leaving them revealed, but also deafened. They can't hear anything that's going on. They can't hear any of the pushes that are coming around the side, and Dirk is still just waiting for the shot. It's a whiff from Alpha, yeah, but it might not matter. Starzo, the last man standing, have to run the gauntlet all the way, but he might just about have time.
Oh, but I know he doesn't. He's going to be cut off by Mystic here. Door closed, but yeah, but he's going to break the door. Look, run through, classic out, easy kill, closed out. Really nicely handled by Fnatic. I think Mystic staying around short was essential to still have that net cast wide once they knew he'd slip through, and also not being too aggressive, right? He wasn't peeking up on short. You saw. Could have gotten it a little bit awkward, but they're not overzealous. They're playing this in a tight game, and now I am hoping off the bat, drop from Boaster, drop from Durka. They got some money built up here, and they can keep themselves very healthy economically. You can see those drops coming through now. That's just balanced it out so nicely. They've got a good buffer of credits on that defensive side, building it up, and it's exactly what you want. Gaining control of your economy is essential, and they've managed to do it on their way back in. ACEND still have a chance, though. This buy round right here, they can get some more rounds built up, and really all they do need is a little streak, right?
They just shot dart his trap. Oh, okay. Well, the shock dart seems a little bit irrelevant now, I'll be honest with you. Oh, cool, they've shock darted the trap in mid. Well, Alpha, yeah, that quiet start didn't last very long. He's managed to find two off the back of the showstopper. Already putting this advantage. ACEND, they took some time, Mitch. They wanted to have a little chat about this one. They wanted to see what they could do in this round. They've lost two players, but the luck has made things interesting.
Tell you what, it would have been 3 kills as well if Alpha Air was hitting the gym a little bit. That nade, if it was thrown just a tiny bit harder, it could have been huge, because Vac was 1 HP after the C's inside of B main, but nade didn't quite make it around the box, which was a shame. Either way, he's done more than enough already. He's done damage on top of that, and, well, he's still alive to tell the tale. Almost not alive is Enzo. That was a close one. He's dropped to the side, but it's Alpha Air is going to look to say,
Oh my god, Starzo. He's going to get taken out in the end. And now the problem is the time. 20 seconds. They have to hightail it. And look at Enzo. He's just going to sit at the back. He doesn't even really need to peek anything. He's got his teammate on the cross. Boaster is playing this as safe as can be. You're going to have the paranoia through, and it's all too easy. Nice mop up in the end, but there was just a moment or two where you started to believe there was going to be a nasty return to form from ACEND.
That shot from Starzo was everything. That was so gorgeous.
Here.
A quick reaction to take that frag, and you know, it's a shame. It's a shame it isn't Masters. We'd be doing our high-speed moment. We'd have that one locked in right now.
You know, if they see more clips than that, maybe they'll sponsor EMEA as well. There you go.
Oh, maybe.
Get out of my way.
Well, they sponsored an A4 for some clips. Big play here. Vax down already, straight out of the round.
He's not had the most luck, that's for sure. Dirk's aggression on this agent. Well, this is the reason he's playing it. He was given the opportunity to be the Raze main for the squad, but it's this aggression, it's this quick exit, it's the ability to basically push in that JW-esque style, but also have a way to escape. Still, though, you've got the likes of CNED. Blade Storm activated, but Dirk has repositioned once again, leaving them with a two-man advantage once more.
Oh, that spray was not pretty. This time the shot's not quite as clean from Starzo or from anyone on the ACEND side. In fact, they've only barely landed a few points of damage. The one bullet onto Durka, I think through the wall, is all that they're able to write home about. And after eventually taking down Boaster, all monsters left on 40 HP, naded, and then shot in the head. So that's about, you know, an eye for an eye, I guess. 5-4, Fnatic taking the lead. And as I said before, gaining control over your credits defensive side, it's the hardest thing to do. A lot of the time, it's what you strive for. It's what you live for, you yearn for when you don't have it. But right now, Fnatic have absolutely no problem. They're buying for the rest of this half.
Well, yeah, and the issue as well is the fact that it has been so clean. Like, the fact that a lot of these rounds have been with 3, 4, maybe even more surviving. So that, as you said, they've just got so much bank. Now, by the looks of it, a split on the cards initially, but there's not a lot invested into this round. Ultimate-wise, you got a lockdown, potentially could give you a little bit of extra control, or maybe if you pull a rotations, you could try something cheeky with a From the Shadows, but chances are it shouldn't be too difficult around. Oh, timing's really bad. Really bad for Mystic. He's caught. Now it gets dangerous.
Oh, good kill at least by Boaster. Spray down. He's trying for it. The RNG not paying off this time. Only a little bit of damage. I'll make it to the corner. Now the cover from Enzo comes in from up above, doing damage, dropping down a Prowler, blinding them up, back trying to take this player down, and he stops Boaster from reloading, deals with Enzo. A big play needed, but he won't be able to get it done in the end. 6-4 we go. Fnatic's dominance might not be done just yet. I mean, the reality is ACEND with 4 rounds. Like I said, they already built the foundations and they are very much there. If they can just push that little bit further up to 5 or even 6, it would help so much with the next half. But right now, it seems like they're running headfirst into a brick wall on some of these pushes. We'll hope they found a solution now with the rifles back out and the AWP in CNED's hand.
Yeah, I think one of the main issues they need to do is just counter Durka. He's been everywhere and, well, for them, nowhere. Haven't been able to spot where he's pushing in pretty much all of these rounds, and if they do, he's already gone. I think if you look comparatively to the first week, second week, and now third, it just seems like he's got the mechanics down to a T with this agent, especially on the defensive side. Now, mid control has definitely been one of the issues for Fnatic so far. It's a spot they've been able to take. They've also been getting rid or shock darting the trap early in the round, so it's been moved.
A lot of damage peppered up onto Enzo. And all for the info that there's a player around mid. Well, I kind of got that from the shooting, to be honest. A big damage done. They still need to find one of these players and weed them out of their position. Lockdown on A. Presence being made. Starzo stepping around. They know they're making noise here. They're dragging rotations. That's exactly what they want. But Zeke, he's gone. Oh, 9 HP! Okay.
He gets headshotted, of course he does.
30 seconds
Dirk is
left.
just too clean. And again, they haven't really taken much ground at all. still within the sight as Boaster. They'll force him off, but this is exactly what happened last time. The wraparound might make a difference, but no, still just struggling. Finally, they get those entries into the site. And now, well, one of the best chances we've seen for Ascend in a while.
Yeah, this is looking like it could be round number 5 secured. Vac and Starzo, well, Vac mainly very low HP. On the way back through here, Fnatic have got a ton of potential. Alpha Air might be caught. Enzo certainly is. Recon up and above. It's destroyed immediately. The flank underway. CNET's got the op, though. Making the noise, giving it away. Good shot. Another player down below, spotted out. Good kill by Durka. They've got it. They've actually found their way back into that one. Durka with a headhunter in his hands was picking them off. And Alpha Air good to trade it out in the end.
Last round.
Wow,
Before the
that was one of the best chances for Ascend, Tom, but same result.
I think if anybody ever needed to make an argument as to why this agent should be nerfed again, this is it. Just send them some gameplay of Durka playing Chamber. It's just utter filth. Or just send them the gameplay of Starzo playing an Icebox. That's also just nasty, but they're just struggling so much to deal with him individually. 13 and 5, Alpha are up there with him, and there hasn't been a poor performer on the Fnatic squad, and on a defensive half, that's all you really need.
Played out straight away, both sides, but Dirk has actually managed to sneak his way into wine. He's in position here. He can TP back out, and he's got the tour de force. That's the big difference, though. He can swing out, take the kill, and not get out of there. Oh, instantaneous response from Starzo! Anime! It's just anime plays. Like, what? He's just dashing all over the place, updrafting, spinning around, other players peeking out. That was unbelievable. They've got the sight on the back of that, and
Spike down
maybe they don't. That's a spike down.
Oh, a cheeky play from Alpha. Something we don't see often is him playing with an operator. Maybe we should. He picks off CNET as well. Monster will find the trade. There's another player just around that corner, but with utility in hand, can't really do anything. Nightfall is going to give away these positions as well. Starzo, you're not as sneaky as you might think you are. And now the last player, Monster, it's going to be all Alpha. You finally kill the boss, and well, it turns out you're only halfway through because Alpha is there to close it.
This guy had a little bit of a slow start compared to what we're used to seeing, but when it had been this dominant of a quarter, let's say, he wasn't really needed. Finally, Ascend start to step it up, and Alpha goes, oh, you want to play? All right.
Their team is literally like, you've got Durka, who's like, you go into the boss fight of a game, and you're like, oh my god, this guy was so difficult. You'd like grind and grind and grind. You finally beat him, and then it goes stage 2, and Alpha just picks up the operator and just kills you instantly. You're like, oh, so I didn't even get close. I didn't even get close to beating this. Their team is
you said you haven't played Elden Ring. What's going on? Gotta get you on that. Sounds like it's right up your alley. The oh, hold on, this blade's gonna catch both on short. They know that there's at least one close. Do they suspect another? Yes, and they've taken CNET down. Back. Look for one somehow reloading, getting out of there, going back in to fight again. But Dirk has shot him through like 7 feet of concrete. All right.
Oh my god. Hey Riot, do you think this gun might be a little bit strong?
No, to be fair, it does cost quite a lot. You know, 100 credits per bullet. I don't know that that's affordable.
If he had hit that one, I would have messaged Zilg and told him to report him in game, because he was full on running just to try and get that final kill. Utter filth once again, and now while this pistol is all but done, Monster once more trying to clutch out a rough spot to say the least. Like, just hear the sound cues. At least one will go his way, but yeah, Durka with the 4K. Been unbelievable all the way through this season, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. 18 and 6.
Yeah, so you might think Alpha died because you know, he was greedy or anything like that, but no, actually what happened here is or it was Boaster, sorry, he wanted the ult orb, you know, so he sacrificed himself to Monster because he couldn't get the kill. He needed Durka to get the kill, so he'd have another ult orb. So, you know, a really nice, really selfless guy, that Boaster. Now they're 2 orbs, Dom. 2 orbs. of the From the Shadows. I mean, Fnatic it's like building Exodia.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just kind of be bothered to try and respond to that one.
That's fair.
9-4. We're seeing a bit of investment coming through from Ascend. We know how deadly they can be with the pistols. CNED with this Marshal or Operator, as you could call it, when it's in his hands.
And around like this as well, nobody has any shields, so. Or of course, CNED.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he's going to hit all the headshots. That's what I'm...
That is true.
That's what I'm leaning towards. Then it doesn't matter
We'll
what
see.
sort of
He's
shields
in
they've
market
got.
behind the smoke. That's a tough spot to play from.
So
He's
far
close.
away.
Both of those shots are close, if not tagging.
That recon got so many people. Nice shot from
Spike
Zeke,
down,
but
B.
it's just
Last player
death
standing.
balling into the site. Marstazo, yeah, I'm not going to
30
claim the
seconds
range
left.
on this gun is going to be... Yeah, I can understand the smoke. He needs to get nice and close.
Oh, Durka, no. Oh, Durka, no.
Circle will kill
Oh,
it.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that works.
Just-
It's one way to deal with him, I guess.
How do you defeat the shorty in a smoke? Durka, that's how.
I love that he went close as well. Just get right up in his face. He had the promise. He's like, "Oh, I hear those steps. I'm gonna get a shorty kill." No, you're not. 10-4. Like strong, really, really strong position for Fnatic to play from. And if you're Ascend right now, losing this round is time to look at Icebox, you know. But Fnatic's map pick is Icebox. That's not where you want to be holding on to it. This has got to be almost flawless play from this point forward.
Yeah, they are very good defensively on this map, especially once they get the Operator in play. The problem is, if they don't win this round, they'll never get the Operator in play. Unless they're just going to basically save until the very last round, but even then, doesn't guarantee anything. Not close to a Bladestorm or anything like that either, so it's not like he can take a hit in the next round. They desperately need this win, and they should get it. The weaponry on the other side is not particularly strong. Spectres, Marshal, a pistol for Mystic. Okay, maybe it wasn't a Spectre. Maybe it just looks like a Spectre when it's in Alpha's hands, but it got him down pretty damn low. And now they're just going to execute off this, or it seemed like they would, but they've been stopped.
Yeah, they've been delayed a little bit, and that's when Alpha comes into play. He's already caught one. The TP out's actually going to be safe. Down goes Zeke. Another kill for Fnatic. They close in on the side. Starzo low HP. Oh, no, the wall getting in the way.
Where's Vac going? He's just going in alone. That's madness. Like, his teammate up above, the other one locked out behind the door, and Vac decides to drop into the site, play the close range, when they have the beneficial weapons. The remaining is so low as well. It doesn't even matter what guns they have. CNED needs instant headshots, and it's Enzo who's going to close it with a triple. Some weird decision making in that round from Ascend, and I don't know, like some of this looked like last-ditch efforts. Like I need to be the hero here, and when you have a better buy, that shouldn't be your mindset.
You can maybe see it being like the breaking point mentally for the team in a pause. I'll say that's Ascend's pause. Be surprised if Fnatic are...
Ascend on the other side have played Focus alongside that. So their next game is G2 Wounded, which, okay, there's going to be people out there going, but Tom, G2 haven't looked very good. G2, when they're about to be eliminated, are one of the scariest teams. It just happens every single time because Nuclear decides he doesn't want to be eliminated and would like to qualify.
Time for a field test.
And then they've also got, what, FPX? Like, Ascend want to be putting up a real fight in this game because, as I said, so far, this is the biggest test they've had, and, well, they're failing it.
Yeah, the issues have been glaring on this map. And it's just not what you expect when you take into consideration Ascend pick this, how good Ascend normally look. Not even on this map. Let's just talk in general. This doesn't look like the same team. And I'm almost certain it's a hiccup. Next map, I think we see a completely different team. But the question is, can they make that turnaround now after the pause? And again, in this round, the answer should be no. But in the next, it's going to be put to the test for sure. That dash is being activated by CNED. He's ready. And that's a kill for free. He's not going to get out, though.
It would have needed another dash probably to be able to get out of that scenario. Oh, the flank from Monster decent, but he doesn't get anything from it. Paranoia gonna leave them blind, but nobody really able to peek off of it, unfortunately. Okay, Zeke just about gonna get away with one. These trades are not bad in a round like this, but winning it gonna be much tougher. They need something from Vac from within the site. I don't know even if they're expecting to be here. It's taken some time to clear him out. Pop flash right into his face. He couldn't be more blind, and while he was hoping for the timing pick, and in the meantime, Dirk just mopped up everyone else.
Just another clean, I mean, set of rounds from Fnatic. It's just been streak after streak of them. And then you look at what ACEND have got to work with coming into this final round. We can't even talk about ultimates in a positive light, because they're just not close enough to ones that really matter, that really make a difference. They're going to need some kills to mount up if they're to have a chance. And, well, Fnatic, they've got plenty to play with. And we're going to start with all rifles in play. A knife up and over, landing on top of A, indestructible. And that's going to cause some problems, these players being revealed, but Monster's not deterred. He is staying aggressive. Tucked right below this smoke. That boom bot that comes forward, that's going to reveal him. So he's decided, yeah, right call just to back up.
Still taking space slowly. Fnatic not really rushing things here. Very aware of potential of the operator, but I think he might actually catch one. Is Boaster going to be ready for this angle over the top of the smoke? Timing! He's got pass! It's going to be outfight! No! No, he unscopes! Oh, there was basically a free kill guaranteed, and instead, they've fallen for it. And also, now you see that switch come back up. Can CNED do anything else? He's going to retrieve his operator instead, TP back into the site, as they will be able to get the spike down. There were so many opportunities for CNED to basically ruin this round for Fnatic, and now they have an afterplan.
It's rare to see CNED with a hiccup like that. Good flash through. That's the pressure applied, but CNED delivers, looking to make up for mistakes of earlier on. He's got a chance to up close here. Boaster still surviving and, well, thriving. A triple with Zeke falling after time, and, well, 13-4 we go. Tom, that was...
So to choose to start on the attack is interesting. Maybe there's something that they've pinpointed that they can break down, or they're just looking for that streak of comeback. Either that, or they did see Fnatic get 12 rounds in a row last time on the attack and went, yeah, let's see what the defense is like instead.
You know, we've spoken many times about how a lot of teams prefer, a lot of teams in other games prefer to start attack side. Never really been a thing in Valorant so much, certainly nowhere near the level of popularity, but controlling the pace, getting the more difficult task out of the way early. I don't know, there's a ton of angles for it. We'll see if it pays off for ACEND this time around. Zeke's very close. He's been revealed. Now he's in trouble. Everybody's swinging to take him down one by one, though. So he's able to at least pick off one before going down.
Yeah, no, a pretty good spot for ACEND straight off the pistol. Interested as well by... Is Boaster just timed out, or is he just waiting for exits at this point? He's so far away, it just looks like he's taking a ridiculous fight. The frenzy, like... Basically, they've just given up on this round, and Alpha is like, right, boss, don't worry, I'm gonna win this. He's like, yeah, you keep fighting, I'm definitely on my way.
Oh, that time might be a little bit too far gone for Boaster to have a shot, plus a few too many players. 1-0. ACEND picking themselves up the Pistola. Now, following on from that, I'm seeing rifles already. CNED and Zeke picking those up. You know, CNED picking a rifle here is fantastic. He's got light shields to play with. You'll be able to heal up after a kill, get yourself full. Starzo's doing the same. This is a strong buy. First of all, I appreciate the fact that it's symmetrical. The Bulldog perfectly cutting into the Spectres and the weapons, although I suppose it's rifles. Phantom and Vandal are acceptable. They're interchangeable. It's okay. I do like it, though. 2 rifles and a Bulldog to play with is a really strong round. Obviously, they've gotten rid of the Bulldog now, playing with a pistol instead, but that probably makes even more sense, because now it allows you to even lose a player and still not have those credits left on the floor.
Yeah, and I think, as said, they have to be fairly aggressive with this composition, so it's one of those things where realistically they don't mind too much if like Vac hangs out in the back and the other players are the ones just farming up the kills. It also leans into the ultimates you want to get up, but they've still managed to take a couple of kills here on Fnatic. Not something they're going to be too unhappy about, getting those ultimate orbs available. And while for CNED, just try to pop a few heads along the way. Not much Mystic can realistically do here. He does manage to pick himself up a gun, hoping to get one kill, but I don't think it's happening.
So Monster saves his shields. I do wonder about Starzo and CNED, though, with 25 HP added on top of their base. I feel like they're probably going to want to have the full shields to work with, but then it's that extra 1k. You know, most players are playing with Vandals on this map as well, so maybe you can get away with it. Kind of a tough decision to make, but especially for CNED because he can heal, but you get one shot by Phantom. You'll be pretty annoyed with yourself. You can see they're going towards the B side as well, and this is going to be Boaster, Phantom in hand, looking to challenge. Although challenge is maybe a little bit ambitious, it seems like he's just falling back.
Yeah, and they're putting instant pressure here. One of the things that is always going to be difficult is firstly shutting down Durka, but they did that in the early rounds. And while if you could wipe out Boaster instantly, that's any utility that they had gone as well. This is a real troublesome spot, because as I said, it's difficult to get into these afterplots. They've done it with relative ease.
Yeah, with good control over the back as well. That trap that they've got down is going to secure them for pretty much the rest of the round. No flank possibility for Fnatic. They've got to take heads-on fights. That's perfect for ACEND and what they're looking for. Running down the clock as much as they can. You can hear, well, I hope you can, the spike ticking away in the background. And so we'll have the Hunter's Fury used to delay even further, guaranteeing nobody's taking that. They actually put down a snake bite as well, so it was free frags for anybody standing near that. Fought on the back of it, and they've obtained all the space they could possibly want, hope, and dream of. That is a third round for ACEND locked in.
Yeah, and it just seems like at the moment, at least, Fnatic are really struggling with the pacing. Unable to get their superstars into position. Just an easy isolation of Boaster very early on, and CNED off to a flying start as well. And that's the thing. The reason they managed to win this map the last time it was played was because CNED and Starzo were unbelievable. Like, they were just running around the map, destroying everybody. I think both of them ended up with 20+ kills within the game. Yeah, it was 27 and 22. They were Starzo 7-1 in opening duels. It wasn't like a ridiculous team performance with all these cool little setups. They just had the firepower to get it over the line and the confidence to just take these aggressive peaks. Now waiting on the side here, well, again, but actually Durka managed just to take out Monster in response. It looked like it was going to be an easy couple of kills, but it's actually a 1-for-1 trade.
Fnatic's response seems to be to give up the majority of A control. They want to skirmish around middle, perhaps. Seen a lot of focus, a lot of eyes around this area.
There.
And yeah, the drone coming out. It's going to be a B play, but Fnatic's mid attack has finally come through. They've grabbed a weapon, walled it off. That's great security for them now, able to fully focus forward like we discussed before, and that leads to the spike being dropped. Damage on the way back, snakebite down. Nobody can even retrieve that spike just yet, but they have managed to trade it out for Mystic's life. A worthwhile trade for them in this scenario. They still need to get that spike down.
Spike planted.
Oh, nice shot from Durka. They've got the reveal as well, so the next peek is even easier. And although the spike is down, it's left onto Starzo. An attempt being made to try and clutch this one out. Push coming through, and while it's Durka to close it, it will be a first round on the board. And just like the last, it's going to be an early start for ACEND, but will we see the same sort of resurgence from Fnatic?
Oh, that's at least the first found. And now I reckon you're probably going to see Durka pull out that tour de force. He's got a rifle to possibly drop over to one of his teammates, pull that out, and things can look absolutely fantastic. Thanks to all these kills he was farming up. And yeah, I see no weapon in his... Well, I still see no weapon in his hand. And he's got his ult online, so tour de force incoming.
See, Loth is going, yes, but if you bind these two together,
Mitch hasn't heard about
Then
the buy.
actually, the Stinger is the best gun in the game. Don't worry, he'll
The
send
tour
you a
de
video.
force? Why is he using that when he can just use the double bind? I know we're gonna have angry messages from Lothar now, but it is what it is. Maybe he's grabbing his lunch, misses this round. I'm kidding. Lothar's a machine. He does not miss a round. Here we go. Oh, tags up, but no kills for Durka. Tour de force. Maybe the Stinger would have been more effective. It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Either way, again, this A-side take has worked out. After planting, Shock Dart, not really going to do anything in terms of damage. Drone will try and clear out some of these closer positions, and the flank has already been spotted by Starzo. Nobody going in that direction. It's all 5 members of Fnatic trying to entry from the same spot.
2 bullets in the tour de force on the way back through. Having a TP out immediately, but his teammates are trading on the back of that space. They were swinging to take him down and ran into the rest of the team instead. Tour de force still with those 2 shots, 3 victims to look for, to seek out, to try to find the Stinger. Grabs one, but it can't take Monster down. And so ACEND, they answer right back up with a round of their own, 4-1, as the lead extends and Fnatic are left in the dust, Tom. They've got no money to invest into this round.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if there'll have to be an adaptation, because this is now a few times they've attempted to play retake on this A site and it hasn't worked. They haven't been able to get back in. They haven't been able to trade effectively enough, and ACEND have just done their job of basically back and forth, making sure that every single player is in position to get those trade frags. So you almost need to have a little bit more aggression on that side of the map. Also, to point out, Lothar has messaged, and he said, actually, because of him, they fixed the double bind, so we can't even meme about that anymore. So the gun is actual trash. Thank you for confirming.
No. You can get in a rhythm. Yeah, in a rhythm of right click, left click. Bind was just cheating the skill. While Moster's being spotted and dealt with just as quickly. Good space seized by ACEND, and they don't need to get too aggressive now realistically up against the pistols here. Better to just secure this with all 5 alive, build up some economy.
Yeah, you say that. I think they're leaving CNED behind.
Yeah.
Enzo is still here, but what can he really do against 4 players? And while CNED should die here. Well, there you go. Mystic will at least get himself a gun. Might just want to keep that into the next round. Althea left with a Marshal and no real reason for the remaining players to peek over aggress, but they are starting to build up a bit of a bank. They might just want to try and remove that remaining gun.
Oh, well. 5 HP on Mystic.
They've got Rex.
Reckon he might save. No, surely not. They're going for this? The drop down from Althea are upgraded to a weapon.
Player standing.
He's making it costly for sure, and he'll go down in the end, but all right. Decent 3 kills out of that round for Fnatic. 5-1. But it all means nothing unless they can find a win here. You know, they've stopped ACEND from building up too many credits of a lead and too much of a stockpile, but that's going to be unavoidable if they don't manage to pick this one up. And they've got 4 ultis, but
well,
so
yeah, there's 8 ultimates currently available in this round. Now, I will say maybe 1 or 2 that probably not going to be the most impactful, more reactive in those sort of scenarios. Empress being the one that springs to mind the most, but plenty of damage dealing abilities available. Zeke, he's just running and gunning, going straight through. They've been caught, and Alpha, yeah, is actually running in behind. He doesn't realize there's another player behind him, but Starzo's then been caught by Enzo as well. A fast-paced take. I like the idea, switching things up as they go into the buy round, but it hasn't worked out for them. Now it's left onto Vac and, well, the man himself.
Little cheeky bit of damage on the Boaster. Here comes the drone. Backing out now. Trying to bait them into a swing so CNED can grab a frag and dismissed out of there for free, but instead they've ended up losing back to the flank and CNED falls right after. 2 on the board for Fnatic. Second round, but they got to keep it coming. And as we said, ACEND have got that little bit of a build-up that they're not too worried. I think CNED has ult coming out of this round. but not money to buy a rifle. So that could be a little bit shaky. He's been dropped a rifle, so that'll do it. Oh, of course, because Starzo's got his ulti. Man,
Yeah.
that tour de force is crazy.
Well, the thing is as well, they haven't actually quelled the A take yet. And I think that's the thing that worries me a bit for Fnatic is, okay, they managed to win this round. What was a very aggressive play from ACEND, an attempt to play through mid, something you're not going to see teams do with that much pace too regularly. Their actual default executions, though, they've been pretty damn good. So they'll go back to this slower pace, waiting to see if there's any sort of aggression out, still leaving the spike on the A side of the map. And I would assume there's going to be some sort of fallback in either direction. But with how deep they're getting into B, and again, this retake just being played by Fnatic, they might be able to get onto the site without too many issues.
Yeah, well, a minute left on the clock. ACEND are backing off, going towards this A site. I don't think they'll get in here without any issues. That's unless this fake works out. Already one player's rotating.
You are
Fnatic sending Enzo over towards middle. Now moving a little bit further towards the B site. But now they've lost Durka. They're realizing, hold on. This isn't actually a straight up B take. In fact, there's a little bit more complexity to it. The A site's now lost and it's a 5v3.
Lockdown, they're throwing everything at this one. Enzo does at least manage to find one with a shot dart, but they're already going to back out of there. Empress popped as well. It seems like this is a round full of ultimates, and the winner of it is going to get themselves into a much better spot already. The defuse is going to be halved. He might be able to just stick this all the way, but no. He goes down, and it's left onto Alpha. They still expect someone to be on it. It won't matter. Headshot for Zeke, a 6th for ACEND. And every time Fnatic get around, they break straight back.
Fantastic post plant coming in by Monster. I love the fact that he's not afraid to take some of these fights after he's popped down that utility. You know, he's joining the pack immediately after sending in that's the last snake fight. And he's saying, okay, I'm with my team now. I'm taking fights. I'm trading.
They can't allow this A site to just fall by the wayside, and ACEND actually play into it by selling a little bit of a fake, as you said, and then going back to the old faithful, because their after plants on that A site have been superb. And as said, that's what this composition really shines at, is if you get into what I would call a more defensive position, where you have some of those star players just able to pop off, that's where this team is devastating. It was just getting into those spots that should have been difficult, but thus far it really hasn't been.
enemy suppressed.
Well, that's a problem. Durka straight away able to pop off and take CNED. That's denying any A main control and making this take a lot more two-dimensional. Now, Fnatic don't yet know that it's a B take, but getting in onto this site should be pretty easy because of that. Essentially, you've got Boaster, who can't really overextend into this fight. He's just going to look to... Oh, that... I don't even blame him for that. That was unlucky.
Oh, well, from one misplay to... Oh, a fantastic shot from Alpha. Yeah, now Enzo's caught another. Just able to pop heads one by one. Giving an opportunity here still, though, for ACEND. They've got themselves the Viper's Pit. The counter obviously gone, and the res going to be there to bring back Boaster. They might actually just use it straight away just to make sure that both teams are struggling within the Viper's Pit, but instead just running straight through, trying to get onto the spike.
Zeke, well, he can't even get back inside of the pit. Tries to flash in and just gets destroyed from back yellow. Third on the board for Fnatic. 4 players surviving. Am I out of my mind, or did Boaster just defuse that when he already had his ult? Or was the hood ahead?
No, he definitely did have the ult because he had it going into the retake as well. That's one of the reasons I thought they rezzed him specifically, is that he will have that ultimate online already to be used.
Am I dumb? He did defuse it, didn't he?
I know Durka was defusing. I won't lie, I wasn't paying attention to see if they swapped.
I'm pretty sure he stopped and Boaster, because when he stopped, I looked to go, oh, I wonder who they're giving the orb to, and it was Boaster. It's like, what?
Monster go.
Well, that was strange.
Look, he's already playing around in his orb. This is something they've attempted a couple of times, but it's had very limited success. And In fact, a very interesting Viper's Pit going down on the other side, almost just trying to lock down the site. Normally you see this much, much deeper on B so that you don't actually allow them the control. They've even got an alarm bot on the edge of it, so that if anybody tries to sneak through the gap, they're going to be notified of that position. This is intriguing. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll soon find out.
Well, you know what? Boaster's double or overcharged that ultimate, I suppose. We'll see if it does double damage now with the extra power. The decay underway for CNED. He's quite low on the way through. Flash in, not going to catch him at all. But they've heard him. They know where he is. They'll seek him out. Snakebite no longer able to put down, but CNED's gone. Only the one bullet needed. He was so low. The decay doing its job. And allowing them to get back in towards this site, but not where they've planted. Look at that deep plant.
Yeah, it had to be somewhere audacious. They've actually got a wall ready for it, though. You're going to see the Hunter's Fury pop from a very unorthodox position. Not something you see too much, but Boaster doesn't manage to connect. Now their shield has been deflated, and they're actually sectioned between two different defenders on the other side. Starzo not going to be able to get anything, though, and it's left all onto Zeke. Just trying to stick this one through, but he's found two in quick succession. It's left to Durka, and he'll just be able to get things over the line. A cool setup from Fnatic, but ACEND still almost make that one work.
Well, I can't help but feel like I have to give some credit to Mini for that one. You know, watching over Durka from behind, you could see he gave him the confidence to go out for that swing and take the kills. So, incredible. A really nice attempt by Zeke, though. You could see how he was sitting there realizing, okay, I've got to play this one fight at a time. There's no other way. You can't just swing out, try to deny this defuse. It was systematic. It was very well done, but Durka gets the better of him. 4 rounds for Fnatic. The defense building up a little bit of momentum. We'll see if it can carry on.
Yeah, a cool setup. Definitely something to be explored as well. Like, I like the idea of the Viper's Pit, the fact that they knew all the flaws in their own setup as well. But this is where that pace on towards the A side. They've had troubles with it so far. Of course, the weaponry much weaker this time for ACEND, but, well, it is ACEND.
Out of charges.
Oh, yes. CNED with a sheriff.
Is he good with it?
He's all right, actually, to be honest. Oh, Monster, maybe not so much. A little missed shot there for Alpha here. Flash coming through from Zeke. He's 8 HP. He's got to do his best to help out in some of these fights. And, well, he's done just that. CNED good for 1 before going down. A little bit more damage won't really matter, considering this is a...
Was that through the... Did he just spam the wall? Was Alpha's kill just wall spam?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it was a wall bang, but I just want to know if he shot the corner or if he shot just the actual wall. Look where he is. Oh no, it was just the corner. I thought for a second he'd just done it straight through the back wall, which it's possible, but that would have been insane. Thank you, Mr. Replay.
Yeah, ask and you shall receive. Well, final round of the half, and Fnatic are looking to take it across the line with 6-6. I don't know if that's how it works, Tom.
You said it.
It was more, well, yeah, but it was in a specific genre.
Oh.
You know, you can't ask for exotic animals, for example.
Penguin.
I think that falls under the umbrella that I just clearly stated, so... I feel like you're not trying very hard here, Tom. Big play in towards B, and Zeke is running it down. Now he's down on the floor, and they're going to look to revive him, but they can't. It's a firing squad. Into the meat grinder. Everybody falls, and 6-6. We are tied up at the half. An impressive recovery coming out of Fnatic.
Yeah, I don't think either side are going to be too unhappy with that as well. Like, I think Fnatic will be unhappy with the start, and obviously on the other side, ACEND will probably be disappointed they didn't get more, but going in at a 6-6 is absolutely fine. I still rate the defensive side of this ACEND composition quite a bit more. The chances for both Starzo and CNED to get that little bit more aggressive, have a lot less risk in the duels they take. And on the other side, well, need I say, last time Fnatic got 12 rounds in the attack, so they were feeling very confident in that attacking side. Even still, though, definitely a lot closer than the last map, and, well, this pistol could easily be a difference maker.
Well, for sure. give one of the teams that little bit of a leg up. ACEND's defense starts here, and well, this is what we've been hoping would be a difference maker.
That's a good spot.
See if that's the case. Already a closer game than what we saw before. Starzo coming out on mid with a headhunter in hand.
I think he knows that this is bait. I think he knows it's bait, but still has the confidence to fight into it anyway, and then realizes Dirk is on the other side, and he goes, nah.
Deploying drone.
The drone has to be committed now. Grab that little bit of extra info. The clock burns. Monster set to take a peek. The rest of the team posturing for A. This is going to be a split through spawn by the looks of it. They can go right past with this orb. The steps are heard. Monster's creeping through, but look who's behind. Boaster, the timing here going to be key, and he's got him. At least able to trade out, keep the numbers in their favor. Spike in their control, and all these players, they're making noise, but look who's still on the site. Seen it needs to clear out Alpha Air here, but actually Alpha Air, he shot off at just the wrong moment, gave away his position, and so we'll end up in a 3v2 retake. No kills for CNED just yet, but he's going right back out.
Yeah, he's going to be cheeky with it. Trying to get a little bit more aggressive, but he's shot down by the youngster. And now it's left onto Starzo. 3 bullets left in the headhunter. 3 players left to find. It's a tall ask, even going to look for a slight upgrade on the pistol, maybe not believing it himself. I don't really blame him for that. And it's not even going to be the one. Alpha here is there to double up. Even, you know, a few tactical crouches in there. He's learning the way.
It's important. It's important. You got to limber up.
It's part of the culture. Some of these fights. It's part of the culture, you know.
If you've got some long rotations, you know, and you're not limbered up, wow.
Yeah, honestly, for some of the things that we've seen Bosa do on camera, I'm almost certain he taught him that one.
Yeah, he's got some moves, that guy. Well, the lead for Fnatic now secured, and we'll see them presumably clean this round up, but you got to remember, you're against a Sheriff, you're also against a Headhunter. There's still great potential for the Ascend side to do some damage, and not least because they're Ascend.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, is that you're looking at both Starzo and CNED with potential to do some damage, but it's definitely not going to be an easy route to a round victory. Just any kills they can find, cost they can cause. Back, well, we've seen him in that position before with the Classics. Not gone quite as well as last time, and CNED isn't really able to get anything done here. They're cleaning this up quite easily, if anything, and, well, Starzo only 2 bullets, 1 fired, and a teammate left rotating.
Very nice. And for a round like this, you know, to compare it to Ascend's bonus where you have like a pistol and 2 Spectres alongside a few rifles. The big difference here is everybody on Fnatic is invested. You don't have the rifles to play with, but you do have Durka with both a Spectre and a Headhunter to play with, so your Guardian Spectre, essentially, a Guardian in the hands of Alpha Air, and then plenty of close range potential on the rest of the Spectres. It does mean that you don't want to lose anyone, because any death, it's no longer your shields and a ghost. All of a sudden, it's your 1k plus your weapon. And then your opponent's going to get to save it, so things get a little bit nasty. Luckily, though, they've walked away with everybody surviving and a nice, strong bonus round for them here, up against 5 Vandals. 5 rifles.
I'm fairly certain here, right, that at 7-5, I said that at 7-5 for Durka, I said that they'd done quite well of shutting him down. He is now 17-5. I don't think he's died since. I think he's got 10 kills in a row. I'm sure someone could check that, but if that's the case, that's actually ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure the second after you said that, he opt somebody with
yes.
like right at the start of a round.
Yeah, it was Cena.
Just activated ever since.
Yeah.
Alpha Airs ran up mid with a Guardian and killed a site.
He's in their spawn. Now they're trying to rotate, but they've got to go through obscure routes. There's no way he gets out of that one alive. This has been a mess of a round, and Alpha, well, I think we know he's already on the MVP sheet. The problem is he's currently second on it, maybe wanting to try and outdo the Finn on the other side. Monster, though, trying desperately to get something done. It's exactly the same as the last map. a decent position, 6-2 up for ACEND. They've lost 7 rounds in a row, Mitch.
Yeah, this is going to start to hit them with a pretty strong sense of deja vu at this point. Fnatic just keep on rolling them, and the control never there for ACEND. Talking about 7 straight rounds, most likely 8, as Fnatic look for double digits up against pistols. I see Vax. He's messing around there with how much he could spend, but he's realizing it's maybe not in the best interest of the team to do that.
Oh, it's cheeky, but he's been spotted. They can even just start surrounding him, and there's a slow in the way. No way back for Starzo. Out for you with the Guardian. It's just nasty. This kid only needs a bullet at a time. He can play patiently and find the headshot on almost every occasion. There's a gap for Vac, and okay, he'll take one monster. He's also found another on the flank. This is getting a little dangerous.
Spike planted.
There we go. If he can find this, it could have been massive. Still, a chance. Zeke and Vac on their way in, but they're running the gauntlet, walled off on one side, a Viper orb on the other. No matter which way they go, they'll have to deal with all 3 of these full HP players. Enzo tagged up a little, but still needs 2 to the body.
Enemy remaining.
3 as can be. 10-6, a round that we expected to go Fnatic's way is secured, and 1 away from Res for Mystic. They've also got a lockdown to play with, as well as a tour de force. Tom, this is not looking like it's going to be an easy round for ACEND.
As one of the greatest firepower additions to any squad ever. I think the one before that was probably also Fnatic with Durka, but hey, whatever. And then on the other side, I think this is the point I'm making, is the mental side of things. I think Enzo has clearly helped with a lot, because like they won, I think, their second round when they were 6-1 down. They won their second round. He's laughing and joking. You can see it on the cameras. They're having a good time, even though they were losing. And that is when a team is devastatingly scary.
Let's play.
I'll say, by far his best quality as a person is just Enzo is a bundle of joy. It really and truly is. I don't know how. How
does your girlfriend feel about the way you talk about him?
Mon petit ami, mon bisou bisou. Enzo, you know, it is what it is. But here's the thing, like, you know, this guy, I've sat in a team speak with him while he's been straight up just shouted at by someone, just like bombarded every round.
Who was that?
Like abuse. Oh, we don't need to talk. We don't need to talk. I'm not going to name names, but you know, he put up with some stuff he didn't have to. And I don't think I ever heard him raise his voice. I don't think I ever heard him lose his mind. He was always just like explaining, here's my perspective, here's what I think, blah, blah, blah. And in those moments, he'll always be like, hey guys, at least we got 13-1, not 13-0. But, well, wow. I'm sure he can put a positive spin on that opening duel pretty easily. Fnatic, 1 man up, make it 2. Vex gone down as well. The B site's being assaulted. A lockdown and a wall guaranteeing a plant, but they will lose Durka. Big pick for Starzo.
Where is Cena? Cena needs a kill. He needs a kill. If he gets a kill, he's fine. He can just dismiss out of there. Is it going to last in time? He's not going to get pulsed, so he can survive around this corner. The res still was the only player that was lost, so the advantage is in their favor. But Cena given a chance. It's Mystic, though, to drop his teammate. Now Cena needs to do even more. We're focused on him for a reason, but Mystic will shut him down. No mishaps this time for Fnatic as they go up 11-6. The streak of 9 rounds continues.
An absolute heartbreak for any ACEND fans out there. This has been a rough first map, but the follow-up, it just ain't there. And I mean, when you look at the position they're in, it's not the end of the world. This can be that weak write-off for them, but they're definitely going to be hurting not taking that top spot. You're looking at seeding problems and so on. Technically, tournament life's still on the line, moving through the rest of groups, although it looks very likely that, you know, they've already secured their spot. But this is a flat performance versus the top of the group.
You say that, though. As said, they've got, what, FPX coming up? Well, I think it's G2 next and then FPX. Now, yeah, sure, G2 are not looking good. Yeah. But if they play to the level they can, they could take that game. Like, they are a scary squad, so... And especially when elimination is on the line, G2 always seem to come up big. So I would not be feeling like massively confident about everything going forward. Nonetheless, Here comes that execution again. Starzo desperately trying to find something.
He just can't find a pick around here. Fnatic are still tucked in. Now they've spotted him. Even more wary, in fact. So wary, they seem to just be giving up all control. Dirk is sticking around to try and find a duel. Intent because he can just TP back. And he wants to fake out this presence. There it is. Big kill. Zeke down. Another player here to try and challenge. Alphayer spraying away. They're making the noise. In fact, they're not even rotating back. Not yet. Not committing to it. They're exploring their options. Still opening the door for Boaster to late lurk up through B. But he's trying to catch somebody.
30
And the step
seconds
is
left.
heard. He knows now exactly where Vac is. Boaster wants this fight. You can see it in his body language. There it is. And he's got it. Vac's down as well. The numbers thinned out on the site, still holding on. Starzo has to TP, and now the space is there for
Player
Fnatic.
standing. Spike
It
planted.
just seems like there's nothing Ascend can do at this point. Nobody wants to face this team when they're on form. When they're on that attack side of Icebox, they've looked invincible, and that invincibility hasn't worn off. They won this half 12-0 when they faced Oglu last week. They are yet to lose a round in their attack once again.
An incredible streak of rounds. I mean, just look at that timeline. It is nothing but Fnatic picking up round after round. Ascend haven't tasted victory in quite a while. Like you said, look, there is potential if G2 do some soul searching that Ascend's tournament life could be very much in danger.
It happened before. You remember they lost to BBL last season. They started strong. We spoke about them being the champions. Then they didn't even make it into the playoffs. It has happened before. Now, don't get me wrong. They look a lot stronger with this iteration. But things are not looking good here today. Monster in desperate need of more, and he gets it. A 2K that might have just given them the tiniest of lifelines. There's still so many players still to find. Durka being one of them. A Viper's Pit available as well. And more so just the space that Boaster is taking. Trying to sneak his way through and towards B, but he's waiting for support.
Look at how low Monster is, and nobody else has a rifle to work with, but of course Starzo.
The drone for Vac. He might have actually heard it as he used it just now. Oh no, he turns around. I thought he was going to just be stuck there instead. It's not going to be anything. It looked like a free kill because his back was turned. I assumed he was in the drone just because he wasn't actually moving, but instead he was just stood dead still. Timing, though, actually ends up working out for him.
Welcome to my world.
That Viper's pick could be the difference maker here for Boaster. He's going to hope it is. Sort of force for Starzo. Going to be tough to get back in with it. Hunter's Fury thrown in blindly. Makes sense, right? You no point just going in and dying, and then you don't have a Hunter's Fury, but you wanted a tag. They didn't find it. Snake bite down. And Boaster's going to just leave a little bit of space here. Try to get Durka a pick. Backside is covered. They're going to look to push it. Good swing by Monster. A successful challenge. And the defuse underway. Boaster good for one. Down goes the Viper's Pit. All he needed was one bullet to each. But Starzo was too aggressive. He was swinging wide. Catching Boaster off and putting 7 on the board for Ascend. The dream is not dead yet. They finally found a defensive round. Now they need 5 more
Yeah,
in a row.
It's a combo breaker, that's for sure. I think, what was it, 9, 10? Can't even remember at this point.
A lot. Yeah.
I think it was 10. It was, because it was
10 it will
6-2. 10 rounds in a row. So, and they're actually going to go for a double operator. I guess throwing everything they can at the wall here in an attempt to try and get something done. It looks like Zeke might be left with some weaker weaponry if that is the case. Yeah, just going to be a Guardian, but relying on this deadly duo, the duelist for the squad. Instant Viper's Pit out here looking like Pac-Man, but we'll see if there's going to be any attackers to gobble up.
There's going to be a flash out of this pit. I can almost feel it from Zeke. He's been so aggressive at moments. For Fnatic, pumping the brakes and waiting for some sign of life from Ascend, but with a minute on the clock, they've seen nothing. Start to put up a little bit of utility. It's the orb inside of mid that they've caught a player off with before. I like that idea. Put the orb down, the ops inside it, looking out, trying to find the pick, but still nothing. ACEND are just sitting down, waiting, confident in their setup. The mid containment here for CNET. He's going to get a peek out with the operator, but they're going back, looking to move elsewhere underneath the tube in towards the
30
B
seconds
site,
left.
but there's still a lurk outside A. Alphayer is still there, and he's caught his reward. Zeke goes down.
Starzo, though, manages to find two with a flank. Vac jumps down and gets a double headshot as well. And now Alfire, no time for him to really get anything done. 15 seconds, a monster will close it out. It was a round of fine margins just based on timing. But both Starzo and Vac come up big in this round. It is now a difference of just 4. It was a streak set of 10. Is the final hurdle going to be too much?
4 attempts to close this out, Tom. It just seems surreal. It seems impossible that ACEND make this happen. You're waiting for that one pop-off round where Alphayer, Durka, Boaster, these players have been on fire so far. You're waiting for one of them, or all of them, to step it up, take that multi-kill to close it across the line, if nothing else. But so far, that hasn't happened. Now, they're going to look to change things up moving towards A. Remember that Hunter's Fury got used up for nothing earlier on. Well, now there's a lockdown for Alphayer, and if they can get it into position, there's very little that ACEND can do to deny it. They'll have to put themselves at least in bad positions to take fights and use the height of pipes as well. Looks like that's what they're going for.
Unless they have a fragment lineup somewhere. Don't know how they're actually going to be able to get back into this one. And
There you go.
It's on the edge of it, but it's not quite reached.
No, it's
not
down
going to
below.
work. And that's a problem. The rest have to leave. Now, they do have the null command ready for the retake, but they've also caught the flanker. This leaves a very one-dimensional retake, and although they've pinged up nearly every player on the other side, that spike still goes down. Boaster, he's caught another, and every member of ACEND falls. Fnatic go 3-0 in the group, 2-0 in the match, and are looking invincible this season.